Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be a sit down video where I go over my college study routine. A lot of you guys have been asking for college or just studying tips, tricks, whatever. Not really something I cover, but I felt I wanted to do a video on this now because my study routine, habits, everything has changed immensely since I came to college. So I basically just have a list of things. I'm just going to run through it and I hope that you guys find this helpful. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more academic studying related videos. Okay, I'm honestly just going to talk you guys through like how I take notes, how I whatever, and we'll just see where it takes us. Okay, so what I do is when I go to class, I type out my notes just to make it quicker, just because I'm really like slow at writing. I can never really keep up. But what I do is I type out my notes, and then when I get home from class that day, whether it's the end of the day or right after, whenever I get the chance, I take a notebook and I write out all my notes. So obviously, I'm sure you guys have all heard how much it helps to write things down, and when you actually physically write it, it definitely like sticks with you better. But also this method is like I'm going to class, taking notes, paying attention, typing it, but then I process it all over again the same day by writing it out. And I know this might seem extra, I might just be like, why not just write it down during class? Personally, for me, it's the easiest method when I'm actually in class, and that way I learn everything twice. I don't write down absolutely everything depending on like the length of the notes, but I do write down especially the main points, just so that I can review it, because otherwise we just type it in class or write it in class, leave, forget about it. Also, a big thing that I learned that I have to do is make flashcards as I go. Flashcards is like the #1 way that I study. Quizlet doesn't work, I have to actually physically write it out, but otherwise like flashcards is how I basically memorize things. And for the first maybe month or so, I was just waiting till the end and making them all at once, and it was awful. And I have seriously learned, like, I know people say keep up with it, stay up to date, blah blah blah, but like it's no joke. Making flashcards after every lecture it's ridiculous to do it any other way. It is absolutely ridiculous to wait till the end. It's not a lot of effort. It's way less effort in the long run. It really all is about just keeping up and doing things proactively. Okay, so obviously I say that I go home, I write everything out, I make flashcards, but I'm not always studying. Like, if I don't have a test coming up for a month or a month and a half or whatever, I'm not gonna take time to study when I have other assignments, other things to be working on. So I normally give myself a 2-week period where I start studying. So like 2 weeks out from my exam is when I start actually flipping through those flashcards, actually rereading those notes, because initially it is important to memorize the basics by typing it and writing out flashcards, but that's not like studying. Studying is like, you know, taking hours and like understanding the material, memorizing it. I give myself about 2 weeks to do that. It's obviously more heavy in like the week leading up, but a huge thing that I've noticed and others around me is cramming. I literally cannot tell you the last time I crammed for a test. Like, I do not mess around with that. The day of my test is a review, like an hour review, because I already know everything. Personally, and I think a lot of people work like this, whether they realize it or not, cramming does literally nothing. Even if you only study the week leading up, it really doesn't do anything. You have to be constantly reviewing it, but the actual like hardcore like studying grind time, you have to give yourself 2 weeks to do, at least, depending on, you know, how hard the class is, whatever. Also, I just want to say my major is advertising, so right now my classes are pretty like random. I'm in a science class, a Greek mythology class, a journalism related class, and social science class. So I'm not in any like hardcore math, hardcore science, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a lot of information to memorize. Okay, also something that is like very interesting to me is how differently people work like at different times of the day. My friends like Kaylee, Sarah, all of them, they literally, I can't tell you guys how often they're at the library till midnight, 1. They've pulled a couple all-nighters in the library. For me, I know this sounds ridiculous, I get it from my mom, I'm like literally a grandma. It hits 8 o'clock and I cannot focus. All I can do at that time of day is like watch TV, and that's not me being lazy, that's not me being like, I don't feel like I literally, my body is not in the right mindset to grind and get work done at that time of day. So you have to learn yourself, and just because most people are night studiers, that's how a lot of people work. Just because that's how most people are does not mean that's how you are. I work the best in the morning. Like, literally, My schedule's really nice this semester. It's kind of, I don't know, I'll have to figure out next semester, but this semester I don't really have morning classes, and then like I have later afternoon classes, whatever. Regardless, I have a lot of time in the morning, like at least an hour, and that's when I get like literally the most productive hour of the day done. Like I just, in the morning, I've had my coffee, I'm awake, I can grind, I can focus. Like otherwise, mid-afternoon gets bad. I can do a little bit better once it hits 5, like, but once it hits 8, I'm done. Learn your body, learn when you're most awake, most focused, because your body totally has those habits even if you don't recognize them yet. Okay, also obviously planning. I haven't really done a planning video in a while, and I kind of might get back into it. Right now I use a mini happy planner. This is what it looks like. Honestly, I'm only halfway through it, but I'm thinking that I am going to get a like bigger size for the next semester, just because I have a hard time. Like I definitely can manage to write down all my assignments, tests, studying, blah blah blah, but like personally for me, you guys know I'm the definition of a crazy planner. Like if I could, I would write down study habits and study plans much more extensively than I can, just because this is so tiny. So obviously planning is like a big part of my life. I do it with everything, not only just like planning every Sunday, planning your week, planning the month out, like at the beginning of the month, reviewing what things you have coming up, planning at the beginning of the semester. That's a big thing. I know it's towards the end of the semester, so definitely take these to heart going into the next semester. For me, I feel like I've learned so much about studying this first semester, and I'm excited to have a fresh start and like know right off the bat how to study for these kinds of courses and for college. So yeah, planning everything, knowing everything in advance, giving yourself time slots for studying in relation to like weekly, daily planning, but also like big picture, knowing big dates, know what's going on in your life. Also, this goes without saying, but go to class. I've only missed this semester, I will only miss class twice. One of the times was because I was going to Tallahassee, and then I'm missing class next Tuesday because I'm going home for Thanksgiving. We weren't supposed to have class, so I like arranged my travel plans, and then class got reinstated, so like I do not skip class. Like there's absolutely no reason. College schedules are so light compared to high school. There's no reason you can't go to class. When you're telling me you manage to go to class 8 hours a day in high school, like it's literally not a big deal. Go to class, take your notes. That's like the best way to retain information. It's just, I don't mess around with that. I don't get it. I've never felt the need because I don't have anything else to be doing. Once again, I just want to emphasize, do not cram. Little bits at a time is the way to go. It really depends on how much you need to study, but like leading up to the test, hopefully I would do like an hour to 2 hours every day, which adds up to like 10 hours from doing it like 5 days a week. Like little bits at a time. Cramming is not a move. In regards to assignments, it's good to just kind of figure out your most productive times a day. For me, I work on assignments like when I'm either like in between classes or like weekends or whatever, but try to leave your like time that your brain's most awake for studying, and then assignments, obviously it's important, but like sometimes if I absolutely had to, I could probably get an assignment done like later at night, just because it's different than studying. It's not like trying to memorize stuff, it's just trying to get stuff done. So assignments, goes without saying to just break it up. Do it far in advance. Don't leave anything till the last minute, because that's when you get off schedule. It's honestly all about staying on schedule and giving yourself time to do assignments, a little bit to do assignments, a little bit of time to study, because otherwise it just gets all screwy, and that's how people are like, I don't have my crap together. Like you just have to constantly have your crap together. It's really not that hard. I have always been that kind of a student, and then you never fall behind, never have an issue. Also use your resources. Personally, I haven't really had to do like any tutoring sort of thing, but a lot of my friends have gotten like this thing called Study Edge, where they do like chapter reviews, test reviews. You can get one-on-one tutors. There's like free tutoring at a lot of universities. Just know your resources. Again, not saying my classes are easy, but I'm not in those like super intense math or science STEM courses that typically need tutoring. But even if you aren't, it's like know if you need help and don't be ashamed to reach out. It is totally normal. It's way better to reach out for help. Also, the library, obviously in high school, the library, it's not like, let's go to the library, but like in college, it's definitely a big mood. Figuring out where you focus best. For me, it really depends. Like, sometimes I go to the library alone, and that's like my most productive thing ever. Sometimes I go to the library with friends, and like, either super productive, super not productive. Like for me, I have not really nailed down that like one thing, because like I said, sometimes I go to the library alone. One time I went to the library alone and literally just sat there for an hour and got nothing done. Like, it's all about your mindset. And yes, your space and your environment does matter, but your mindset is the main thing that needs to be adjusted if you're having a hard time focusing. But also, like, I know a lot of people who are super productive in the library just because like their home life is like they're always distracted. I got pretty lucky. Like Emma, obviously, if I need her to shut up, I can tell her. And then my suite mates are like pretty quiet and respectful, so I have never had an issue with that. But really, just learn yourself. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that up there. I hope that it was helpful. I always feel like this stuff is so common sense, and that's why I never really do a video on it. But that's just a little bit about how I study. I'm a visual learner, and I just flashcards, notes, etc. Oh, also reading the textbook, like seriously read the textbook. And for me, I have to read the textbook once and then take notes, and then I read it again and I like jot down anything that I don't recognize, because a lot of times you miss certain details the first time. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I hope that this helped you guys. I hope you guys are having a good semester, are excited for a new semester, excited for the holidays. I'm so happy. I have Monday of class, and then I'm going home for Thanksgiving break. And I'm just excited for a fresh start. I think this semester is going to shape up to be a good one. I might get 1 B+, but otherwise we're golden. I love you guys. Peace and love, and I will see you in a couple days. Bye!